What's going on, everybody? It's Obstacles to Opportunity all day, every day. What's going on? Straight from Turkey. As you see, I had to switch up the hotel room, but you see the name of the title Amazon is too small. And we're going to compare that to Alibaba. That's where my money is at. Now, most people who don't know, Alibaba is not an e commerce platform. Wait, hold on. Stop the show. Stop the show. I'm going to go ahead and let Jack Ma give you a little bit of hint about what Alibaba is. For most of you guys who don't know much about it, it is a big company that does big things. So Amazon ain't the same. Let's go.
Is a traditional business happen to have a website? Yeah, we have the largest payment in the world. You probably don't know, we are 11 times bigger than PayPal. We are bigger than eBay plus Amazon together.
Y'all heard that. Bigger than Amazon and eBay put together. Let's skip this guy's intro. Shout out to him in his intro, but let's get down to the details.
Most dangerous competitor, is it Amazon or is it Tencent?
Well, people always compare us with Amazon. Amazon is a great company. I respect. I've been seeing them from tiny to that big, and I think they will continue to grow. But we are different. Amazon is an e-commerce company. We are not e-commerce company. We enable other people to do e-commerce.
So let's run that back one more time. He said that Alibaba is not an e-commerce platform. They enable other companies to be e-commerce. I want you guys to understand what that means. That means that they're not an e-commerce business. They enable other businesses, Amazon, to be an e-commerce business. And they do other companies to also be e-commerce platforms. And let's rewind it back when he talked about that payment system, the largest payment system. It's 10 times larger than PayPal. That's serious. And that's going to actually come out a little bit later so you guys can understand what he means by that. But I want you guys to understand that. So Alibaba enables Amazon to be Amazon. Without Alibaba, there is no Amazon for the most part.
We want to make sure everybody can be Amazon.
So are you saying Tencent is the greater competitor?
Tencent is, of course, they are a great company, and it's not easy to be that size within only less than 20 years, so innovative and so creative and so different on social technology, and they're based in Shenzhen, and they're almost everywhere in China. But respect, of course we compete, but compete does not mean I have to hate them. Your question is that people say, Alibaba like American Amazon? No. eBay? No. Okay. This is the very traditional USA thinking. If there's no such model in America, they understand, they don't like it, or they don't buy it.
So that's a common misunderstanding about just anything, I think, not just about that, but when it comes to anything, Westerners and people in the West find themselves, if they can't have an example of the West, then they just don't have a basis to understand anything. It's not even like they can actually go and explore and start to understand. So when we talk about Alibaba and they say, oh, it's like Amazon or is it like eBay? No, no, not at all. And if you wanted to lump a thing together in comparison, it would have to it would have to be eBay, it would have to be Amazon, it have to be a, a conglomerate of different types of corporations in order to entail what Alibaba is. So you guys got to start if you want to be investors on a global scale. If you want to invest without boundaries, you guys are going to have to be able to understand investments outside of an example in the West. Because what Alibaba does in Asia, it's something that cannot be replicated in the West for the most part. Let's continue.
right? So any model they want to find one. So at the first day, well, who are you? Yeah, we are eBay. Is that eBay? Okay, yeah, so we understand, but we are not eBay. We are not e-commerce company, although we have the largest e-commerce probably business in the world. We're not an eBay. We do not buy and sell. We help people become e-commerce company. We enable other companies to do e-commerce.
And Amazon does that in some shape, form, or fashion also. They allow FBA, fulfilled by Amazon, independent merchants to sell products on Amazon, whether Walmart, whether they get them from the dollar store or whether they get them from AliExpress, it's irrelevant, but they do allow individuals or even LLCs or corporations to actually sell products. But in the grand scheme of things, Alibaba deals with manufacturers, they deal with factories, they deal with vendors, they deal with the sources in the source, the plug, the true plug. Let's go over. We got James G in the building. What's going on, James G? Are you still looking into mortgage brokerage? Yes, sir. I may have an opportunity, or I may, yeah, have an opportunity for you. Then hit me up. You already know obstacles.opportunity at the gmail.com. You know my email, family. So go ahead and contact me and we can have a discussion. Now, let's go back into it. So, Amazon, Alibaba. Alibaba enables Amazon to be Amazon for the most part. Now, let's continue to dive in. What are your thoughts on real estate in the Midwest? I'll get at that towards the end. Let's get through this actual e commerce and Amazon being too small for a giant like Alibaba. And remember, when I purchase Alibaba, I'm purchasing stocks that are, let me just make sure I get this ticker right, 9988. Excuse me, hold on. Yep, 9988 on the Hong Kong Stock Exchange. I'm not purchasing BABA in the New York Stock Exchange or on the US docile market. I'm actually purchasing this on the Hong Kong Stock Exchange, and there's reasons to it, but I won't explain it on this one. But let's keep going so you guys can hear the rest.
This is the difference between us and Amazon. We believe every company should be a Amazon. Amazon is a traditional business, happen to have a website, which we believe, whether right or wrong, we think every manufacturer, everybody should sell online, right? Why you buy and sell? Too complicated. Why you want to buy it and sell and deliver? Even more complicated. So we think we should making sure everybody using the e-commerce, using the payment, using the marketplaces, using the logistics system, using the data to build up their own business. So who are we? Yeah, we have the largest payment in the world. You probably don't know, we are 11 times bigger than PayPal, right? We are bigger than eBay plus Amazon together on the sales. And we deliver
Stop the show. Stop the show. I want you guys to really understand that part. Bigger than Amazon on the sales. So AMV. So if you look at the AMV of Alibaba, it actually dwarfs the actual sales and the purchases made on Alibaba in comparison to Amazon. And you're like, what? What does that mean? So just market value of all the products that they sell are way higher than anything on Amazon. So an example, we have Black Friday in America. I don't know if it's so active on Amazon for Black Friday, but let's make assumption it is, right? And let's go all year. All year, Amazon shipped out 4 billion packages across the United States for the whole year for Amazon. Now, Alibaba, in one Black Friday, it's the equivalent. It's not called Black Friday, but let's just do that American example, that Western example, right? On that one Black Friday, $74 billion in merchandise and shipped out 3 billion packages within 30 days only. Now, remember, I just told you that 4 billion was for the whole year of Amazon. And now with China, one Black Friday, within 30 days, they shipped out 3 billion packages across China. So not only thinking about just the process, but think about the logistics, the supply chain from payment systems to transportation, and then logistics and distribution. Think about all those elements that make up the process of that transaction happening all at once, generating that much revenue, that much market value, and then shipping that out successfully. A big thing that we have a problem with in America is just the last mile. And we'll explain that on another video. So let's get back into this. So massive amounts of opportunity.
30 million packages and more than that per day in China. What does that mean? Total USA package delivered today put together less than 30 million. So we have this business, but people consider us as e-commerce. What we are, who we are infrastructure of business in China. If you want to finding buyers and sellers, our marketplace help you. Taobao, Tmall, Alibaba. If you want to having a payment, financial service, Ali and Financing help you. If you need a data service, Ali Cloud Data Dating service help you. By the way, people only know about cloud dating here, the Amazon. Soon you will know us. And the third, logistic. We got 2 million people deliver products for us. So people in the States always question, how can you deliver things? Why you don't have your own deliver guys? Guys, the difference between USA and China is that you have a UPS, Federal Express, wonderful system. The traditional e-commerce company in the States, that they still do some supplementary to that.
He even speaking about, like I just told you, right? The distribution of said information, said packages, and it's not as entrenched as we got UPS and FedEx, but a part of Alibaba and the whole group in its entirety is the element of shipping, transportation. And so that's the logistics company. And that logistics company handles that distribution. So it's not owned by them, but they facilitate the process to be very efficient and effective. As you see across America, Amazon starting to attempt to allow entrepreneurs or small businesses, medium, whatever, open up their own transportation services that would be facilitated in some shape, form, or fashion with the help of Amazon, as far as getting delivery trucks and etc. And also delivered in package on the, like, let's say the line haul, the semi trucks across state to state. So they're still trying to build out those logistics. But when you look at Alibaba, they already have that instituted. They already have that up and running. And I want to show you guys something. When he talked about Ant Finance, right? Look at that. Ant Group set. Excuse me, hold on. So Ant Group right here on the side. Ant Group set to raise 34 billion in world's biggest IPO. The biggest IPO. So anything that we're talking about in America, it was small. It was peanuts. It's too small. And this is just the financial arm of Alibaba. This is not going into Tmall. This is not going into its domestic market. This is not tapping into its smaller international AliExpress market. This is not tapping into its Alibaba's cloud service. We're not even touching that yet as of now. We're going straight to financing. And anybody knows bankers make massive amounts of money financing. You sell money, you buy money, you manipulate money. That's where most of the money comes from. So we got Ant Group set to raise 34 billion. That IPO was canceled for other reasons that we could talk about on a different podcast or a different stream. But right here, shows you. And if you know anything about just the economics inside of said China, people save at a highly different rate. Now, as you can see, Alibaba Group, we have Alibaba.com. AliExpress is what some Americans might understand. But if you go here, Tmall is a large portion of their revenue. And all these different companies have C2Cs or B2Bs, so customer to customer, business to customer, or business to business. So all of those three. You got customer to customer, business to business, and then customer to business. And then it facilitates all those in these different types of companies and these different types of group. So as you see right here, we have Ant Group. That was the one we were talking about as far as the financial arm. We have Alibaba Cloud. That's what we're talking about, the web service, kind of like your Amazon web service. And then we have Tmall. That's more of a domestic market. And then we have Alibaba. And then, 688 and all these other different ones are more like, vendors getting access. We have Fresh Hippo, kind of what you will call, what's the Amazon's equivalent to that grocery store? I think it was like wholesale, something like that. Food Mark, whatever. Y'all know what it is. I just can't remember the name off the top right now. So all these platforms, Ding Talk. So here we go. CAINIAO. And that company right there is the logistics company. And that basically facilitates that 3 billion packages within 30 days. So they're very competent in actually facilitating the order. So these are all the amazing things that happens with them. And here goes that example of, right, what you need as an American to understand the equivalent to what they have here, right? So Alipay, PayPal, the equivalent, right? And cloud service, and then it says Amazon Web Service. So this can give you an example of all the companies that are kind of equivalent to what we do in the United States. So streaming video, right? We know of YouTube, and they have Yugaru, and that's one of the platforms, but very big popular streaming site, just like YouTube and the equivalent. So they're in many different areas. They're not only in one industry, but very efficient, very effective. As you can see, here's a even more detailed background on that. So when you look at Amazon and you're looking at to making investments in Amazon, you're looking to make investments in Alibaba, then you're able to see right here. Here's been and for me, like I said, this is not financial advice, but for me, we're buying on that dip. I mean, it's coming at a great price right now. And due to articles and investors being very skeptical, mostly American, mostly foreigner, but those who don't understand the internal dynamics of what's going on, perfect buying opportunity. If you go ahead and follow those financial news reports every time that they tell you, hey man, what did they tell you? Buy on the high, sell on the low. If you end up following that pattern, you'll be broker than a joke. So let's get back to the online and what people were saying in the chats and the comments. So don't think I forgot about you, family. I just wanted to finish that out and talk about that in full detail. Oh, okay. So remember,
Can you beat? Can you beat? Can you beat? Can you beat? Will you beat? Can you beat? Can you beat? You beat? Can you beat? Can you beat? Can you beat?
yeah, that's my song. That's my song. I love playing that song. So let's go over what you guys got. Let's see here. Let me bring myself back. Uh oh. There we go. acting funny. So let's go over these chats. Let's go over these comments from the people. Let's go. All right. Have a great opportunity. And what are your thoughts on the real estate in the Midwest? We got to be very specific. I'm really just checking out real estate in Georgia, Florida, and definitely Texas. Texas, too many big cities. Dallas, San Antonio, Houston, Austin, and then Fort Worth. Come on. And there's still other great cities inside of Texas besides the one in Arlington. There's also Tyler. There's all those great states are in one, or excuse me, all those great cities are in one state. Now, do the same thing for Illinois. Do the same thing for Wisconsin. Do the same thing for Maryland. Do the same thing for, and I can go on and on in the list, and you can't name that much. Maybe the only other hitter is like San Francisco, but still, even in San Francisco, it's like a hit and a miss. And in Texas, there's massive of different types of elements. So you got San Antonio, you have military bases, military industrial complex. You have Houston, medical, big in medical. All of them, all cities that are named are big in schools and universities. And you got Austin, quote unquote tech. But I don't say startups. It's not like the new Silicon Valley, but it is the new Fuji 500. So definitely those top corporations, those 500. And also, we move up to Dallas and we move up to Fort Worth, and the economics, the macroeconomics are definitely there. But just stay away from Austin right now. It's a little bit too much hype. Are you a service disabled? I'm seeing that VOB can open a lot of doors. Most definitely. Service disability veterans can get discounts. There's a great chart that's on Veterans United. Veterans United is a mortgage lender for VAs specifically focused on veterans, and they have a list of all the states that give you that property tax exemption or reduction. You have to not only go off of third-party websites, but you also have to do your due diligence and go specifically to the county and go specifically to the appraisal district to get that information. The finer details is what they like to say. I held the stock for years. It stayed sideways, same as Amazon. Yes, sir. Which stock was that, DJ? I'm assuming you're talking about Alibaba. And then, are you bullish on cannabis? Not really, because I don't know where legislation going. It's just not my realm. So I'm just not nothing on it. I have no opinion. Pretty sure there's great YouTubers out there and others that have great sources of information on the cannabis, but just not me. And do you know anyone in BLCO equals Abuni light crude oil? No, I don't. I don't know anybody in that. Maybe you could speak about that, James. And so I think initially Alibaba was propped up by the Chinese government, and now it is much stronger than Amazon on some levels. Alibaba is like Amazon, adding certain features from Apple. It's a behemoth. And then also, too, you got to look at it like this. Every government is propped by, or every company is propped by governments. Like Tesla has credits that comes from the U.S. federal government. They facilitate, they do contracts. The majority of Boeing, it's massive amounts of revenue during the pandemic was all government contracts. Government contracts that go for extensive periods of billions and billions and billions of dollars. So they facilitate the same types of things, maybe not as direct, but indirect. The funds still come from public funding and public money and public financing. So the government facilitates everything in most countries. As much as they like to say it's only the private sector, it's not. And it doesn't matter if it's boosted up by government or private. The end result matters, right? The market value, how many products are they serving? They opened up they were going to open up that IPO, which was the largest in the world. So the end results are the end results, right? And just like Deng Xiaoping said, it doesn't matter if it's a black mouse or white mouse, a black cat or white cat, long as it catches the mouse. So same thing goes for the economics. Also, I mentioned your channel to Aaron a few times. I believe it will help you get more subscribers. Shout out to Aaron. That would be great. Maybe we could do a collaboration. Whole Food. There we go. Why did I forget that name, Jordan? Whole Food. Dang, I completely forgot. Thanks for that. Because I was like, what's the name of that place? Whole Foods. And great topic of discussion. I was just on Alibaba the other day and trying to hash out some deals. Exactly. It's a great deal breaker. You break massive amounts of deals, great opportunities to upsell some products in the United States from it. And that's what a lot of companies, quote unquote, do. They don't produce much. They just go to Amazon or they just go to these platforms and then just downsell it or upsell it. It's because they charge more on this American platform. Let's go. I love Kanye. I love Kanye too. I miss the old Kanye. Chop up the soul Kanye. What's up the gold Kanye? And then I don't remember the rest of the lyrics. What's with the new Kanye? Stats in the news Kanye. And I remember that. So when y'all say y'all gonna invest in something, like how? Like how? So here we go. Journey book. Greetings to you, brother. Much love for the family, and I believe that's Kenya. Much love to Kenya. And then at Truth TV, excuse me, brother man, I'm concerned about the debt levels and the lack of accounting transparency in China. That's the tank Alibaba. I don't think it would. And you got to remember, the same mess happens in America, whether it's infringement or IP theft, all these accusations about corporations making these things. You know, you got J.P. Morgan, you got Merlin Lynch getting caught in scandals, money laundering, whether it was Bank of America, with the HSBC. You had the massive amount of fraud for some subprime mortgages in the United States of America, the banks, but also the insurance companies, the AIG. We have massive amounts of disinformation, misinformation, manipulation, or whatever you would like to call it. Where's the transparency? You know, we got Goldman Sachs and what's the company? What's the Goldman Sachs? Yeah, they were the ones who put away like 16 billion in just fines. So at the end of the day, you got to look at the products. Now, are they faking 3 billion packages being pushed across China in 30 days? That's not fake. That's real as real can be. And they're making money on that. Being the largest IPO, they're making money on that. Now, accusations of accounting transparency, that's just political, geopolitical issues. Everybody accuses somebody, and then I go like, is this China's different or something like that? Stop the cap. Americans will just get robbed. Like, stop the cap. And all those companies are too big to fail, and they keep going. Let's talk about economics. Let's not get caught up in the riffraff, folks. People are making money. Warren Buffett is looking good with BYD. Merlin Lynch is looking good in their investments in China. They're not doing that. They're making money. They're making 50% returns. But the retail investors psyching themselves out. James G., from an international perspective, what are you seeing in the supply chain? What I'm seeing in the supply chain, that's a great question, James G. What I see in the supply chain is that everything comes from Asia, period. When you talk about semiconductors, or when we talk about manufacturing and assembling any products, whether it's Apple, whether it's IBM, whether it's NVIDIA, all those are manufactured and assembled in Asia, period. Whether it's China, Taiwan, Singapore, Hong Kong, South Korea, whether it's the Five Tigers for China or emerging Asia, it is all there. And that's the whole supply chain. America is just the forefront of designing and selling at the retail spot. So the products come from Asia, get drop shipped. Y'all heard of drop shipping? Gets drop shipped in the Amazon warehouse, sold for a marked up price in America. Nothing about the supply chain happened in America besides from the customs, from import to the Amazon warehouse, and that's it. And then to your door. But as far as the rest of the process of a product or a service, it doesn't even happen in the borders. Most of the wealth and the value is added in other places. So imagine if that was cut off. It would never be. That's why those companies had to file what they had to file when there was political issues between America. They had to file for extension and exemptions. They were like, bro, we don't make no product. We don't make no iPhones here. Like, stop the cap. If you shut it off, if you shut off the fountain, ain't gonna be no phones. If you shut off the fountain, ain't gonna be no semiconductors. That's why a bunch of these companies are crying now, right? They're like, oh, semiconductor shortage. Yeah, because most of it's made in Taiwan. Period. So we can't do nothing. So from a supply chain perspective, I just see it all in Asia, and then I could, further elaborate on that. Let me just keep it there. Let's go. Are you seeing internet businesses as a form of investment, like stocks or real estate? I don't quite get that. So run it back. Are you seeing internet businesses as a form of investment, like stocks or? Oh, okay, gotcha. Well, real estate is definitely tangible. It's tangible. Real estate is different just because you can leverage. It's not dollar for dollar. Stocks dollar for dollar. You gotta have a dollar in order to buy a dollar worth of shares. Margin is very risky, but when you do it real estate, you can have a dollar and then get financed up to $100,000 and create an asset that generates income. So that's different. So both of them are good tools to utilize. You use them in the toolbox. And then you got your monkey wrench and you got your screwdrivers. That's it. You don't choose one or the other, you get both. And this is James Lee, the Truth TV. And that is what happened to Evergrade and PwC. A top 4 accounting firm basically made an accounting error or omission. Who cares? It happens all over. You don't think that the nation who brought themselves in 40 years from being the poorest country, top 11 poorest country, into arguably the second or first most powerful economic country, can't figure out a way past one company having an issue out of how many companies in China? Stop the cap. And then James D, the obstacle to me. And since you have traveled the world, have you ever thought of buying small businesses in countries with a good rule of law? Yes, definitely like Kenya, definitely in places across the world. There's great opportunities, especially in places that don't manufacture. But finding a good team, finding good people. That's even in America. You gotta find good people in the Still, life is in the building. I haven't been too successful with that, but you got to knock your head. You gotta knock your head a few times in order for you to break through. Most definitely. Mistakes, L's are part of the lessons, and you turn those into blessings and make them your deadliest weapons. I made that up. Shout outs to me. Audrey, what's going on? Greetings. Thank you. SR is in the building once again. Is Alibaba a hidden secret in the West? It's a hidden secret in the West solely. And I wouldn't say solely because Europe kind of sees it and definitely deals with it a lot, and especially the massive amounts of products. I mean, you talk about the One Belt, One Road initiative, where a lot of the products are being brought in the train from Far East China all the way to London. So, I mean, they have infrastructure built to facilitate products that are coming out of platforms like Alibaba. So they're aware of it to a large extent, and not only just products of what we're thinking about in the West as far as, trinkets, like consumer goods, but we're talking about even processing plants, industrialization equipment is being brought by this platform. That's why it's so fast. You can't even put Alibaba and Amazon in the same category. You get like onesies on Amazon. Alibaba, you can get onesies or salt processing plant. You can't go to Amazon and be like, oh, I want to order a salt processing plant. I want to open up my own business and start processing salt. That's not a thing on Amazon. So it's an entirely different juggernaut. Great discussion. Let's go over here. James G. Obstacles to opportunity. Would you ever move to the UK? Sometimes chaos can be a ladder. Plus, more money comes through the UK than any other country in the world. Estimated 35 to 45% of money. Yes, a lot of money does come through UK, but being physically there, it has to be an opportunity for me to say that my physical body needs to be there. But building out a good, solid team. James G. Shout out to IP. We can make something happen. XP Life Now. Peace. Great topic. The music is a little bit okay. Got you. Gonna lower that music. Huh? There we go. I think that's probably way more low. Okay, Jerome. Let's go. And being an advocate for companies outside the United States, how do you feel about the emerging market ETF? Emerging markets have been lagging in returns for decades. Yes, emerging markets, that's a different subject. Emerging markets are good, but once again, those are long term. Long term, definitely, because you got to look at the emerging infrastructure, the emerging development, not just the ETF and what the ETF represents. So they're not going to have the same returns that you deal with on the S&P 500. But once again, diversification. Most people have that in their repertoire. They have that. They're like, oh, I'm diversified. How are you diversified when the majority of your companies that you invest in are geographically not diversified? They're very specified. They're very narrow. It's Europe. If that, it's just America. You're like, oh, I'm diversified across all asset classes. And if something happened in the West, or with another area or another geographical area outpaces the West, oh, that'll never happen. Cap. So that's very important for you to diversify yourself. At least have not the majority, but the minority percentage of your portfolio invested in Asia, emerging markets. And what markets are they talking about? Because sometimes they go chasing markets. They're like, oh man, the new emerging market is Nigeria. Oh, now it's Kenya. Oh, now it's Brazil. And it's like, don't go chasing waterfalls. I'm just going to stay in Asia because I've been there, been everywhere else also, but I do see a constant trend, a slow, steady, non-volatile growth and development over the years. I mean, probably one of the largest, most successful economic stories in the world is Singapore, and trailing Singapore would be China. So diversify yourself geographically. And I'm not saying that it has to be 50, 60% of your portfolio or your investments, but definitely some portion. Be invested in some of these companies. Like I said, TSMC, that's the Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company. If you're not invested in that, then you're not invested in all the important components that are required for a majority of electronics. So it's good to be invested in these different types of places. Diversify yourself, and the returns are going to come in the long term. Don't believe me, believe Charlie, Warren Buffett, and other great super investors that you can also go to and look and see what type of investments they're invested in. And there is a website. We're almost done. I'm going to end out pretty soon. If anybody got any questions, go ahead and throw that in there for me. We can go ahead and get those answered. 11 people out here. Thank you. Like, share, subscribe, support. We out here just rolling. I'm trying to get y'all the link for the super investors. I mean, this allows you to track all the super investors that are making the big investments and what they're invested in. A lot of good super investors invested in, you guessed it, what? Alibaba. So I think it is, here we go. Dataroma. Here we go. I'm gonna show you guys this because y'all think I'm lying out here. So I follow this, and it shows you what not only just individual but also firms, companies, corporations, what they're investing in. Let me bring it up here on the screen. So as you can see, this is showing recently. What is this? Okay, BA. Okay, so Alibaba, the purchases, the activities right here, what type of people own in here, the amount of buys and sells. The internet's acting all funky now on me, but here we go. As you can see, all the buys, what type of companies, what quarters are they buying? And as you can see, there's a lot of value in buying and adding into the portfolios all the way back for a good amount of time. Let's say after 2019, massive amounts of buys. We can go to sales too, so you guys can understand, right? And it's reductions, but a little bit of sales here and there, but a lot of it just reducing portfolio, So some stocks can make up more than 10% of somebody's portfolio. So sometimes it is reduced. They got to make that reduction, or they're locking in some profits. But as you can see, the reductions is not as much as sales, but you see the tremendous amounts of buys. And you can see the names on the side: First Eagle Investment Management, Christopher Davis, Clipper Fund. We have all these different Bill Miller, Miller Value Partners. This is institutional money, not only just individuals. So it's a great website. You guys go check it out. You can just follow all the top investors. Here's the activities, and you can see what they're buying, what people are selling, what are these firms buying and selling, and keep track of it. And I hope that was a good amount of information. But remember what I said: Amazon is what? Too small. We talking big. I want you guys to get that before y'all get out of here. I want you guys to hear that one more time. Too small.
Is a traditional business happen to have a website. Yeah, we have the largest payment in the world. You probably don't know, we are 11 times bigger than PayPal. We are bigger than eBay plus Amazon together.
Who's your most dangerous competitor? Is it Amazon or is it Tencent?
Well, people always compare us with Amazon. Amazon is a great company. I respect. I've been seeing them from a tiny to that big, and I think they will continue to grow. But we are different. Amazon is an e-commerce company. We are not e-commerce company. We enable other people to do e-commerce. We want to make sure everybody can be Amazon.
We give them life.
So are you saying Tencent is the greater competitor?
Tencent is, of course, they are a great company, and it's not easy to be that size within only less than 20 years. So innovative and so creative and so different on social technology, and they're based in Shenzhen, and they're almost everywhere in China. But respect, of course we compete, but compete does not mean I have to hate them. Your question is that people say, Alibaba like American Amazon?
No.
eBay? No? Okay.
No.
This is the very traditional USA thinking.
Stop thinking like that.
If there's no such model in America, they either don't understand, they don't like it, or they don't buy it. Right?
That's it.
So any model they want to find one. So at the first day, well, who are you? Yeah, we are eBay. Is that eBay? Okay, yeah, so we understand, but we are not eBay. We are not e-commerce company, although we have the largest e-commerce probably business in the world. We're not
largest.
eBay. We do not buy and sell. We help people become e-commerce company. We enable other companies to do e-commerce.
I use Alibaba to find suppliers. Exactly. The source.
And Amazon. We believe every company should be a Amazon. Amazon is a traditional business, happen to have a website. Which we believe, whether right or wrong, we think every manufacturer, everybody should sell online, right? Why you buy and sell? Too complicated. Why you want to buy it and sell and deliver? Even more complicated. So we think we should making sure everybody using the e-commerce, using the payment, using the marketplaces, using the logistics system, using the data to build up their own business. So who are we? Yeah, we have the largest payment in the world. You probably don't know, we are 11 times bigger than PayPal, right? We are bigger than eBay plus Amazon together on the sales. And we have we deliver 30 million packages and more than that per day in China. What
per day.
Mean? Total USA package delivered today put together less than 30 million. So we have this business, but people consider us e-commerce. What we are, who we are infrastructure of business in China. If you want to finding buyers and sellers, our marketplace help you. Taobao, Tmall, Alibaba. If you want to having a payment, financial service, Ali Ant Financing help you. If you need a data service, Ali Cloud
data payments,
service help
Alibaba is going to help you.
People only know about cloud dating here, the Amazon.
You want to go get data, Alibaba. You want to go get a supplier, Alibaba. You want a payment system, Alibaba. I use Alibaba to find suppliers. And I'm saying to you right now, the source is always the best. And that's what Alibaba is, the source of it all. The source of the matrix, the source of the information. And are you going to be Frank Lucas going directly to the supplier? Are you going to be going directly to the supplier or not? That's you guys. Are you going to go straight to the source to find the information? Are you? But see, the difference with Alibaba is you don't have to go with the donkeys. You don't have to go into the jungle to go directly to the source. Alibaba is the source. This is Alibaba of the world, giving you access to products and services. That's what you want to do. You want to go see the general? The Kumantan?
General Chang Kai-shek's defeated army.
Defeated army? You want to go see General Tang? Straight up. Alibaba is going to leapfrog you going straight to the source like this and get you straight to the general. Straight access to products, whether it's industrialization equipment or whether it's onesies. You, Frank Lucas, of the e-commerce platform, of the e-commerce network, can take your product or take the products, go straight to the source and cut out the middleman. And they asking you who you work for. How you going to get it into states? Don't worry about it. Who do you work for? You ain't got to worry about that either. Frank Lucas, right there. Obstacles to opportunity. Me. Don't let them. That's what they tell you. You think you can take 100 products on the back of that ship and that container and bring it to the United States and sell it? And y'all out here scared, talking about accounting errors and all this other garbage coming from the West. All this, oh, well, the government and Evergrande and all this cap and stuff. Amazon's not scared to go ahead and get it straight from the source. Apple's not afraid to go ahead and go straight to the source. They're Frank Lucas and you all the time. I'm telling you, go straight to the source. And you're like, I don't know if they're going to let me. He must be insane. You guys can go straight to the source. And if you're not killed by the news articles or whatever boogeyman they infected, then we can do business.
And there'll be more, much more, I guarantee.
Much more. I can guarantee it. I don't have to bring myself back up into the mountains. My man. Soul brother. Y'all guys need to get access straight to the source. That's it. Go straight to the source, Alibaba. Learn about it. Go ahead and check it out. Check out the actual stock ticker. We said 9988 for the Hong Kong Stock Exchange, and then the same thing. You can also do the American at BABA. Look it up. Financial disclosure and disclaimer at the bottom. I want you guys to go ahead and try to do something else. Just think about it. And ask yourself this one question. You already know what I'm going to say. Ask yourself this question.
Can you be? Can you be? Can you be? Can you be? Will you be? Can you be? Can you be? You be? Can you be? Can you be? Can you be? Can you be? Will you be? Can you be? Can you be? I caught a wave, caught more air than Super Dave, caught a live, super paid, jet lag and trying to recuperate.
Come on, man. Can y'all be global investors that invest without boundaries? And then I end out on this from James G. Obstacles to opportunity. What do you think about software companies? They're good. I don't know too much about them. I wouldn't have an opinion on specific ones, but they do solve a lot of problems and automate a lot of different services like PathView and other software applications that are coming out. So they could be great. They can end up being great companies. I can't think of one right now off the top of the head that solved a super large problem. And here we go, Airbnb. So it's a software company, well, web application company, but for the most part, it ain't. It doesn't maintain nothing itself, really. At least Amazon got application, not a software application, but so great. And we know that it has more. It's valued higher than Hilton, who owns physical assets and properties all over the world, but those are expenses. So shout outs to everybody. Much love. Same thing as Uber. So much love to everybody. And you already know Obstacles and Opportunity, the only channel in the world where you can hotwire your mind and make stuff happen. All you got to do is have a vision and a mission. Once again, Obstacles to Opportunity. Thank you guys for being here. I'm going to be putting out more content. I'm not going back to work anytime soon. So I'm completely off, completely free. So let's get it started. I saw you some views from Instable too. Shout out to Turkey. Peace.